In this video, I'm going to show you how I turn this denim skirt and the flannel shirt into an apron. Now it's much like my other video. I'm using the same pattern and I'm using the primary size. So I'm going to pin it on the fold on the skirt, cut one piece, and then I'm going to pin it on the fold and then cut that out. So my outside fabric and my lining are the same, except for the outside fabric, I'm going to use the seam because I like this detail. I think that's going to be pretty cute. Okay, so I'm going to use the flannel shirt to add a pocket. So I'll use the front pocket. The cuff for the tabs for the straps. So if I press the pocket, and I'm going to press in the seam allowance that I left around the pocket, just press it to the back. So for the straps, I actually decided to use the front button placket, and I'm going to remove all the buttons except for two to allow the apron to be adjustable. And use my seam ripper and take out all the buttons and all the extra threads, cut it to length, and I'm going to press the unfinished edge in, and then I'm going to fold it, and now I'll press that edge in one more time so I can stitch that down. And that will be my waist strap. And I need to use the cuff to connect for the buttonhole. And the fabric's pretty tight here, so I'm just going to leave that raw edge. Now for the next strap, I decided to use the denim skirt and cut two straps that will tie. Okay, so now I'm putting interfacing on the back of the apron fabric, and that's just going to make it a little bit stronger and stiffer. And I have to pin the pocket in place where I want it to be, and I'm just going to have it on the left side of the apron. Just be a cute little detail for this polishing apron. I made polishing mitts out of the flannel shirt, and those will match this apron, and it will make for a cute little polishing set. Okay, I will pin my tab on that I made from the cuff, and now I will fold over and pin the neck straps. Just going to fold it in half the length wise and pin it, and I have right sides together on this. A few extra threads always. And now I'll need to stitch this length on each of the straps. Okay, so we'll start with that, and I'm just going to use a 1/4 inch seam allowance, stitch all the way down. And here's the other strap. Making sure to lock my stitches at the beginning and the end by just reversing a little bit on your machine. I'm going to stitch the tab onto the apron. And now I'm going to stitch around the pocket where I pinned it in place. And I put my needle down and lift the presser foot to rotate when I get to that stopping point. So needle down, presser foot up, rotate, presser foot back down, and then stitch some more to the next corner. There we go. And lock my stitch here at the end. Cute little pocket. Okay, so now I need to stitch down the edge that I pressed on the waist strap. Okay, so I'm going to stitch the end, and then I'm going to turn and stitch down one edge. And I'm going to use my zipper foot for this because there's not a lot of fabric to grab. So if you have a thin foot or a zipper foot, that'll help you get a nice close edge stitch here over the top. And it'll let you go right by those buttons. And lock my stitch. Oh, I missed a little bit, so I want to go back and make sure that it's all stitch close. Alright, so now I need to pin the straps on, and this waist strap will go here. And I'm just going to tuck the extra in the pocket so it doesn't get in the way while I'm sewing. And then the neck straps, I need to turn right side out because we sewed them with the right sides together. Took out all my pins, cut off the threads, and then I'm going to use my turning tool. You can do this with a safety pin also, but I like this nifty little tool. It was just a couple of bucks and it's such a good investment. So you can do so many things with it. Okay, and I turn one strap and then I'm going to do the same with the other. There we go. And I'll press them flat. And now I have to pin them in place. And I want to keep them out of the way of the stitching. So I'm just going to pin it and tuck it. Okay, so this is the lining piece of the apron. We're just going to pin it right on top, sandwich all those things inside. And then I will be stitching all the way around, except for I will leave the bottom open. There we go, and we'll leave that open. All right, so lock my stitch, and I'm using a 1/4 inch seam allowance. I'm going all the way around. When I get to the corner, I put my needle in the fabric, lift the presser foot, and then rotate the fabric, presser foot back down, and continue sewing. And I'll go all the way around, making sure my fabric is lined up with the lining. And one more side here. Okay, now I need to clip or remove the pins, and now I'll clip the edges. I'm going to cut off the extra fabric at the corners, and then I'm just going to make little cuts around the arm openings, and this will help make the fabric lay flat when I press it. So just pull it right side out. And press it flat, making sure to get nice flat seams. And see how nice that is now that I clipped that on the inside. It lays so flat and nice on the outside. Now I'll pin the bottom hem, and that's the last part I have to stitch. I'll just give a straight stitch along the bottom, and I think I'll do it at about a 1/2 inch. I'd like to preserve the look of the original hem from the denim skirt. I like details like that when they're in good shape. I'm going to be extra careful as I go over this seam in the middle that I used, because denim is really thick, and when you double it up like this, those seams can be really thick for your needle, and I don't want to break my needle, which is very possible. Done it before. Okay, here we go. I think if I get these threads, oh, it's looking so cute. And then the neck will tie, the waist will button. Perfect. And I'll just hang it up on the rack. Another apron and the mitts to go with it. Don't forget to download your pattern from the YouTube channel.